Good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, I'm going to show you an excerpt from a DVD series called Focus on Trapping. It was designed here in Canada, and it was designed to teach people or show people the proper methods for trapping, how to do it, how to handle the fur, all of those things. Great information for the beginner. Also great for the experienced trapper that wants just a little bit of a refresher or some new ideas for sets or anything like that. If you haven't yet subscribed to the MB Wildman channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We certainly do appreciate the support. And if you like the videos, feel free to comment. So without further ado, here we go. Focus on trapping.
Now here is the traditional technique used by North American Indians to stretch and dry beaver pelts. It's called the hoop technique. If you decide to use it, first examine your pelt for any holes or cuts. If there are any, they have to be sewn up before the pelt can be mounted on the hoop frame, as they could get bigger when the pelt is stretched. The hole that you see at the base of one of the legs of this pelt came from a bite during a beaver fight. It's a recent wound because the scar hasn't closed yet. Like all sewing done on beaver pelts, these repairs must be made in a fold in the leather and must not go through the pelt. The hoop is made of two pieces of black spruce or alder, which are both flexible enough to provide equal tension without warping the hoop. The hoop itself should be oval. The basic equipment is just a triangular flat-headed needle 4 inches long and a roll of twine. Before beginning the work, make sure the twine isn't tangled, because it isn't easy to sew with knotted twine. The pelt is laced in 2 stages, the upper part from the center to the sides, and the lower part the same way. The first stitch is made in the nose. Lean the frame up against a piece of furniture so that the weight of the pelt pulls down, making the work easier. The needle goes into the pelt on the leather side and comes out on the fur side. The stitches are made about 1 inch apart. The first stitching is done loosely. The only thing to be careful about is the distance from the stitches to the frame. They should be about 6 inches apart. The lower part of the pelt is laced in the same way. Once the lacing is finished, the trapper can start tightening the stitches. Just as in the previous method, she starts at the head and works down each side simultaneously, as far as the middle of the pelt. At each stitch, she draws the twine just tight enough to pull on the center of the pelt, and she attaches it to the hoop. You should always start tightening the pelt at the head and not at the sides. This way, the tension is spread towards the center of the pelt and creates a more oval shape. Then, using the same technique, she starts from the bottom of the pelt and works her way up the 2 sides to meet the twine that has already been tightened. There will be a second and final round of tightening, always beginning with the head and following the same procedure. This is where experience really counts, as it's very easy to overstretch the pelt. Before tightening the pelt for the last time, make sure all the holes and tears are still stitched up properly. To finish, the legs are sewn from the inside of the pelt and the stitches are brought back to the outside to make the final safety stitch.